party was off the hook.
Off the hook.
It was off the
Free juice.
It was off the chisel.
This party's gonna be off
we have
the
a handful
hook.
of pretty good parties there.
You guys want to have a good party about this movie right
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Let's win it all.
Let's win a timeshare in Boca Raton.
That's more exciting than this movie.
I'm sorry,
Hey.
Cleveland, Ohio.
There you go.
All right, guys.
Here we go.
I've been doing fucking push-ups all day, so let's get this thing on.
All right.
All
hope you're ready.
Let's do it. All right.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel. I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends prevent me from winging 90% of the dialogue and instead forcing me to watch movies.
Yeah,
This week, we have with us Eric Largent.
I won it all.
We have Chris Arsenault.
I'm fucking with you right now. See the smile? I'm fucking with you.
We have Colin McMillan.
I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack.
And James Barrow.
See, we improvise all our dialogue when we podcast. No bits. That's how we do it. That's how you podcast.
And
All
I'm your,
improvised.
I feel like James and I are going to be ultra bros this week about this.
and I am your host, John Barrow. And this week, we watched Win It All.
Yes.
Yeah.
After losing $50,000 that wasn't his, gambling addict Eddie starts to rebuild his life, but an unwelcome surprise pushes him toward his old ways. Starring Jake Johnson, Island Derbez, Joe Latrulio, Jesus, Joe Latrulio.
It's pronounced Island Paradise.
Yes.
It's pronounced Idina Menzel.
Directed by Joe Swanberg.
Yeah.
Discount Idina Menzel.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie gets to go first, and that was Eric.
Yes.
Eric, tell us about this.
Well, so before I can tell you about this, I would like to tell you guys what you told me about this. So I didn't watch the movie until last night. And I kind of like to go into a movie viewing experience, like, you know, of a movie that I've never seen before. You're making me nervous with that phone.
Oh, no, I'm just Googling Marmoset. Don't mind me. This is an ADD type.
It's not like showing up on the track, is it? Like, because James' phone makes
No,
static.
you're
Yeah.
free and clear right now.
Okay.
But seriously, put the phone away. Because it's going to fuck up the track.
Okay, good. Then, yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm correct. I just want to make sure my joke made sense later. All right.
Oh, okay. All right.
Phone away from the mic.
Well, it's airplane mode now. We're all good.
Okay, all right.
Because we've mentioned it before on the podcast. We have a little like group chat that we're all in on and we're all active on during the week, and we sometimes bounce thoughts back and forth off each other while we're watching the movie, or other just dumb ideas. And it started
Like having a podcast.
Yeah. It started, I think, on like Monday or Tuesday this week, where Colin chirped in with mumblecore, more like ramblecore, and I'm like,
Yes, I started early this
and I was
week.
like, yeah, fuck you, Colin. And then and then John showed up and he was like, I don't know, this is an interesting movie. I don't know what we can say about it. And Colin's like, it's sure a lot to say about it. Like real cryptically, like, oh, there's stuff to say here. And then my boy Chris here rolled in with, who picked this movie? And John said, Eric. And Chris said, fuck you, Eric. No, I'm serious. I have you guys are fucking assholes. I'm serious. You guys are fucking assholes and you're not my friends. I'm just gonna get that on the record right now. We aren't friends.
No spoilers, but Bon Bolo Bryce. Just saying, like, all our shit is
Somebody
like
check James's
painting
temperature.
his experience before he even gets into it.
We're definitely not friends. Sorry, listeners. I pointed at James while I said that. No, but yeah, what I was getting at is I kind of want to go into the movie watching experience without anybody's bullshit in my head while I'm watching it. So I was already like slightly annoyed by the fucking peanut gallery. so I sit down to watch it last night, and I'm like, fuck these guys, fuck them. Fuck these guys. And I turn the movie on, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm charmed as hell. I absolutely love this movie. I love the dialogue in it. I love the way the characters interacted with each other. Obviously the story isn't, the story of this movie was written on the back of a napkin, and they filmed basically off of, like, they just they set up scenes
off of what wasn't smudged by their drink,
right? The story for this movie is real simple. Like, it's about as simple as it gets. Yeah. But inside of a story that's really about as simple as it gets is a lot of good character interaction, really like fun poppy dialogue, and just like a movie that isn't like, this isn't an important movie. This isn't a movie that's like going to change anybody's perspective after having watched it. But for the 90 minutes while you're watching this movie, if you're anything like me, you're gonna enjoy the hell out of it, because these are interesting characters played by compelling actors that are doing their dialogue really well, and it's good. Like, Chris already mentioned it, the fucking, I literally had to go down to Julio at the schoolyard. Like, he just drops a me and Julio by the schoolyard reference, like, out of fucking thin air.
Paul Simon reference right there? Come on.
So he rolls up on his brother, and he's like reaming him out for being an asshole, like, just out of the blue. And it's like kind of believable, because this character is a fuck up, and like, it's totally believable that he could have just like fucked everything up. So his brother rolls up on him, and is like, you just fucked it up. You fucked it up. And then he like drops a fucking Paul Simon reference from like the stratosphere and like cuts the tension. Right. Like, it's really good. What else did I write down here? It says like lice track. Oh no, the racetrack. Okay.
I'm on board.
Like the racetrack scene was great. Okay, so obviously, so what we're dealing with here is a character who's a degenerate gambler. He's addicted to gambling, and more than being addicted to gambling, he's addicted to losing. Like, he really is. He's a habitual loser, and he just can't get over it. Like, it's part of his personality, it's part of who he is. So he finds the money, and he's like, man, I'm gonna make a little bit of money. So he gets up $2,000, and he's like, all right, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go scope people out at the racetrack, and I'm gonna get the inside scoop on the horses and on the fucking ponies, and I'm gonna get down there. And that scene looked really good. And like, when the rain rolls in, like, I thought the filmmaking was good, and it looked nice, and things were shot very naturally. And when like a fucking torrential downpour shows up at the racetrack when they're shooting the race scenes, I kind of feel like that just became part of the movie, and it looked cool, and it looked good, and it added to the story. Like, I bet you he was supposed to just like lose everything like he was doing, and then at the end they got rained out, and they're like, well, he got rained out, so let's get rained out. And the scene looked really good. So a lot of these, and especially Joe Swanberg movies, but a lot of mumblecore movies in general, are done really, really on the cheap. And many of them are shot in black and white, and they're pretty lo-fi. And you could see some of the lo-fi-ness, you could see some of the grains in the film in this movie. Like, this wasn't super cleanly shot. Like, this wasn't shot with like the newest, nicest digital cameras. Like, you could see the graininess in the film. And I kind of liked that. And like, everything was shot in like familiar locations with, you know, natural light, and they had like their nice locations of Chicago around here, like we're gonna see tomorrow when we go visit Johnny in Chicago. Man, this movie reminded me of, I'm sure, what John does all the time, just goes around and does cool stuff with cool guys in Chicago.
Absolutely.
Also, this movie, as well as Better Call Saul, really makes me, and I obviously it's nothing special, but I've never had an old style, and I want to drink an old style. Like Johnny, yeah.
Okay, I can make that happen.
Yeah, I'd like to have an old style.
I will share an old style with you.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, like I like that scene. I really liked Keegan-Michael Key as Jake's sponsor. I don't know what the character's name was. They only like called him by his name like twice in the movie. So it's basically
Gene,
Jake Johnson's
Gene,
character.
yeah.
Gene?
Right, yeah.
Oh, Jake Johnson. Jake Johnson is Eddie. I'm sorry. I thought you meant Keegan-Michael Key.
But yeah, so when Eddie, when he first meets up with him and he tells him his plan, Keegan-Michael Key's like, "You're a fucking idiot, and this is a bad idea." And then he comes back to him later and he tells him the rest of the plan. And he's like, "You're really a fucking idiot, and this is a really bad idea." And then the third time they meet at the diner, he's just openly laughing in his face about how much he's fucked his life up.
Right.
So this movie could have gone dark. Like Rounders goes dark. Like a lot of movies that deal with these kind of issues go dark, and this one didn't. This one, like, it was always, for me, always enjoyable because the characters had this certain like gallows humor. Like when he's talking to his boys, like when he's lost almost all of the money and he's like, "Well, what you could do is go out to Rocky Mountain National Park and just like, I'll pick you up and just fake your death." I don't want to fake my death, and like that kind of stuff.
You can make an app.
that was the funny
make
one.
a landscaping app.
He doesn't know anything. He fucking mows lawns. Make a lawn mowing app. Yeah, that's a good idea.
I loved this movie. I really did. Every second while I was watching it, I was smiling. I liked the girlfriend. I did. I really liked. So the best part of this movie is anytime Eddie is talking to his older brother. Whenever Jake Johnson and Joe Latrulio are just like in a scene and Joe Latrulio's kind of like needling him a little bit and they're just like bouncing back and forth off each other. It's always really good. Like, especially at the bowling alley when he's like, "Okay, look, you've told me that she's a nice girl and that you're getting your shit together and everything's going well. Like, all right, I'll believe it when I see it." And he's like, "Fuck you, this is the real." And he's like, "Okay, you've told me it's real before. Fuck you, it's real." Like, I don't know. I liked it. Like the character interactions and the dialogue were super good, and that was ultimately what the point of this movie was, because, you know, we've seen this story before. There was absolutely nothing new in the story. Right. What we were getting here is performances and dialogue that were new and interesting and entertaining, and that's why I liked this movie. Now, I can see 3 or 4 guys sneaking up behind me with a fucking folding chair. So who's gonna swing first?
That is a good question.
Pop out of the stands and remove my James mask. Reveal that I'm James.
Who does want to jump in on this?
Wow! I've turned the tables
shit.
on you guys.
I'll do it.
All right.
We're waiting. Everybody's waiting
because me and Chris, like, we usually talk a little bit about the movie before the podcast, but we haven't talked at all.
Oh,
about this movie.
You're friends with Chris still, I see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
See,
weird.
this
It's weird that you say that.
This is almost like when you you have to break up with like a new girlfriend and you really don't want to break her heart.
No, like.
Why are you doing this for a second week in a row, James?
No, what? This is not.
What are you doing?
I'm
What are you
just
talking
saying,
about?
This is like,
You know
it's
what?
like you really don't want to hurt Eric, but you kind of.
Look, you guys aren't going to hurt me because, like, I think what I think.
Yep.
And you guys are allowed to be as wrong as you want about it. I really don't care.
All right, give me a moment. I have to pull up.
Now,
the difference here between Chris and the rest of you guys is the last time, actually, both. Really, every time Chris comes over here, he comes bringing gifts. Like last time, Chris brought me over a custom built analog flip face clock, the ones where the clock slides flip over. It's really cool.
I come late bringing food for myself.
Chris brought a hot and ready and some bread this week.
I meant to bring your hard drive too.
So that's what it takes.
Jeez, Chris, where are you betting?
So that's
what you been doing. Jeez. No.
That's why me and Chris are still friends.
Okay.
Understood.
So, tree talk.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
So I have to lead into this. Well, let me start actually back up and kind of respond to your review.
Yeah.
Not negatively, because I agree with a lot of what you said. The characters were awesome. Yeah, the brother interactions were honestly the best part of the film.
Yes.
It was great. And overall, it's not like it was a bad movie. Scenes were good. Dialogue was all right. I do have to admit the term mumblecore just irrationally bothers me. It's
I'm with you on
stupidest
that.
fucking term ever. We're not. That's not actually what I'm arguing.
It's like people that don't like Death Cab for Cutie because they're called indie rock.
Yeah, I guess.
Or that don't like Jimmy Eat World because they're called emo. It's not a label.
Okay. I was just commenting that mumblecore sounds stupid.
Of course it does. So does emo.
Yeah.
It sounds too close to Umbrella Core to me, and that just scares me for our future.
So you're right about a lot of the...
Resident Evil.
Yes, we're down now. I'm trying to get through a point. So you make a lot of good points about the movie. There were a lot of good parts about it. It wasn't an awful movie. Back to Tree Talk. I don't deal well with deception.
Ooh.
It's actually one of those... It's a trigger for me. So the first part of the movie was uncomfortable. And pretty much as soon as he got handed the bag, it started triggering a panic attack.
Ooh.
So I couldn't get through this movie except by doing 30 seconds at a time.
Oh, wow.
Seriously, pretty much, as soon as he decided he was pulling 500 from the bag and going to put it back, it was 30 seconds at a time for the rest of the movie.
Oh, wow.
And I got to the end, and he didn't die, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should go and watch it because it doesn't end badly, because I was just expecting it to end in murder.
You know what? For a second there, I thought it was going to, because there was the really easy way.
Really did, especially when the dude calls him up and says, yeah. They didn't do something right. I'm going to be out on Monday. Yeah. That's great, dude. That's great.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought he was fucked.
I thought he was totally fucked.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was just uncomfortable the entire fucking movie, which is the reason I said fuck you. It had nothing to do technically with the movie, but
Did you see the mid-credit scene where the guy was like, I've counted it twice. There's $400 extra in here.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. There's a mid-credit scene where the drug dealer and his boy are counting the money. There's there's $400 extra here.
Yeah, you're 400 up.
What? That's awesome.
That was the other
Count
funny
that
part.
shit again. There were a lot of funny parts in this movie.
There were some good funny parts, and yes, Keegan Michael Peel.
Keegan Michael Key.
Fuck it, I don't care.
Jordan Peele.
The man who's in the film, who's playing the straight man when he's a comedian. It was actually a really awesome character. I like them. Like I said, pretty much everything that I brought to the film was entirely myself, and to the point where I can acknowledge that it had good points, but I couldn't enjoy the movie. I'm not even telling people not to watch it because I genuinely think that there's a good movie in there. it just soured so hard for me. It's like, it's Saturday morning, you pour the milk in the cereal, you got your Lucky Charms just floating there, you turn on some cartoons, that first spoon hits your mouth and it's soured milk.
Oh,
and just your whole morning is just because you can't pour a
your
new
breakfast
bowl.
is ruined even if you like the cereal.
You can't pour a new bowl because your milk is shot, so you have to go to the store. But it's morning and you don't feel like actually putting pants on,
right?
So,
or you just eat it anyway and then you get the shits.
Yeah, okay, John.
If you want to commit to the ruination completely.
Here's my
thing
point.
as spoiled food.
As I said, I have this extreme aversion to deception to the point where there was one time. Remember the movie Wedding Crashers?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I was at some friend's house, like a group of us there. We'd watch some movies and stuff, and then they decided they were watching Wedding Crashers. I, in turn, left.
Yeah, that whole movie's based on deception.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's stupid because, it's not even, those moments in, TV shows or movies, I'll get uncomfortable. I'm the kind of person who, if I'm really interested in it, I'll, make it through it by pausing, walking away, talking to myself, coming back, getting through 30 seconds, pausing, walking away.
Wow.
I know people who are the exact same way with awkwardness, and so they can't watch things like The Office and stuff
sometimes
like that.
Same thing, but yeah. And like I said, it's yeah. So like I said, yeah, with awkwardness, or when characters, particularly when characters are doing these, this character is not stupid, but he is an addict, and you on a very, very minimalistic level, you get to see, the power of addiction in him, in how it's kind of, because his life's not in shambles,
Nope. He's also not
say,
totally better at the end either.
Right. I should say the first quarter of the film, his life's not in shambles. It's not even on rock bottom. He's definitely let his addiction put him to a slum point.
He's nowhere near rock bottom at
Right.
any point.
Yeah.
No. I mean, he has a family, that he can, lean on. His brother's there for him. And yeah, they needle him, but it's because they care and they never really give up on him, which is awesome. Like I said, where it hits the turn point, pretty much as soon as he ends up with his hands on that bag, it becomes this game of, are you stupid or are you a fucking idiot? And he proves that he's a fucking idiot. But you can't just say that he is a fucking idiot. You have to say that he has a serious addiction, and addiction allows you to hit these points of actually, hold on. I need to reference my notes because I actually had a great phrase for this. The power of addiction: to allow an otherwise rational, well-minded person to collapse on logic. That the drive for a fix can be the drive of the bus of insanity over the school children of reason.
Oh dear.
It's like we're back in the game from last week.
So there you go.
That's fair.
I'm sorry that I broke that up so badly, but fix it in post, please.
Yep.
So yes, that little inkling into the depths of my soul. If you lie to me, don't let me know, and we'll be fine.
All right, fair enough.
Right on.
All right, I'm actually gonna. I'm actually gonna.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna. I'm actually gonna jump in here and go in the middle of the podcast for a change of pace, because my spidey sense was tingling, and I had a sneaking suspicion that if I didn't talk now, my review might get totally stepped on.
That's kind of why I was holding off to the end, because I knew I would just be saying nothing that you guys were saying.
So, I actually did not hate this.
Ooh.
And there's a part of me that really actually kind of liked this movie, but I do want to preface it with this. This movie is not entertaining.
Damn.
It is just.
yeah,
it is not.
It is.
No,
it
it's
is
not.
entertaining.
Yeah, it is.
No.
No, it's not.
Well, it
But-
wasn't for you, but it is for other people. So it is.
I think this movie has a lot going for it. I think you would be hard pressed to find a modern movie that is probably as real as this one. I agree that the camera work, the dialogue. I mean, I think I didn't really find it all that punchy, but I did find it a lot more natural. Like, I found the way that these people talked to each other was a lot more natural. I found the exchanges between the main character and his brother to be very real, because when you're somebody who's on the outs like that, when you're basically a fuck up, people will always, even if they love you and they care about you, they'll bring that up. They won't let you forget it.
Yep.
I love
What are
that.
you talking about, John? What are you talking about?
I love that. You can't tell me to get my life together, then take a toke.
Yeah. But I mean, like,
Oh, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about my life.
and you know, there's definitely some good stuff in there, and I think that the dialogue, I think that the strength of the dialogue in this movie is because it does sound like it's natural. But as Eric mentioned before, this is not really a news story. It's very, very simple.
Oh, yeah.
There is an interesting thing that happens when watching this movie, however, if you watch as many movies as we do. And at least it happened to me, and I don't know if this happened to anybody else. But it became really apparent to me watching this movie how well I've been trained to accept situations that may not actually even be in the movie. Because several times during this movie, because of the way that this story typically goes in other films, I was expecting different results than what I actually got. For example, there is a scene in this movie,
Like violence or something like that?
No, the example will illustrate it for me. So there was a scene where basically he's in his brother's office, and it's nighttime, and he's doing his brother's books for him. He's entering in invoices for his brother, basically showing responsibility. Now, in any other junkie addiction movie that I've ever seen,
he'd be stealing that money.
well, not stealing it, but
No, he would
fuck
just
it
like
up.
be blowing the job or blowing it off.
He'd blow the job, and because of it,
Right.
things would really get fucked up, and that would send him back on the track. So when that didn't happen, then I expected that the guy was going to get out of jail early, and while that did happen, I was still constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop throughout this entire film. Even to the point to where when he goes up to his girlfriend's house, I fully expected the dude that he owed the money to be her brother. Like that's how trained I am when it comes to these kinds of films. So it was really it was an interesting experience for me to watch this movie because it brought forth all this garbage that I bring to the table when watching films that I didn't even know I had. Maybe that isn't going to happen to everybody, but look out for it because it could happen to you, and you could maybe, as Eric said, this might not change anybody's mind, but it certainly changed mine. It made me evaluate some of the preconceptions that I bring to the table when I watch films like this.
Yeah, what I was getting at is like this isn't like your life isn't going to be changed for having seen
my
this
life
story.
was changed. My life was completely changed.
Okay,
But it was
It won't be changed.
interesting.
It won't be changed. It'll just be 100 minutes shorter.
Well, like I said, I didn't really find this movie super entertaining. Like for me, it wasn't something that I was glued to my screen. And in fact, had anything else been going on, I probably would have paused this and tried something else. But, and I know this may sound like a conflict, but I personally believe that this can happen. That you can find something engaging, but not necessarily entertaining. And that's how I found this movie. I found it to be very engaging. I found that there were elements of it that were really interesting in, but this is more something that I think I enjoy thinking about more than I actually enjoyed watching it.
Ooh.
It is April 20th, and you are listening to NPR's Fresh Air.
No, I totally get where you're going with that.
All right. So that's pretty much me in a nutshell. And the point that I was concerned that I was going to get stepped on is I didn't want anybody to predict what might have happened to this guy. Yep. So who is next? Who would like to?
I can go now.
Yes.
I came out. I don't think it made the cut, but last week I lamented after recording to the guys that I'm often very disorganized with my content. I write a bunch of stuff down and then I don't read my notes. So I've come a little bit more organized this week because I feel strongly about Win It All.
Ooh.
So I will read you what I've written. Once upon a time, there was a gambler. His gambling was a big problem. One day, he got himself in a lot of trouble by gambling. Then he got out of trouble by gambling harder. The end. Win It All is not about a guy with a gambling problem. It's not. You think it is, but it's not. It's about a guy who gambles and how nothing bad happens to him. Here's what actually happens to Eddie once he gets the money and starts gambling with it. He goes out with his friends. He gets a cool girlfriend. He gets a good job. He keeps all his friends. He makes new friends. He strengthens his relationship with his brother. He gets $10,000 free from a gangster. And he survives a heart attack. There is no consequence for his behavior in this movie at all. There's none.
Yeah.
There's no rock bottom. There's no impetus for change.
No.
So,
well, he doesn't change.
No.
That's not what the movie is.
No, the movie isn't anything. That's what I'm saying. There's no point to this movie at all. And now that's where my written work ends, because I wanted to get those points out. But they don't even show you that this guy's a fuck up. He has a place to live. He works.
Colin,
he gets a girlfriend. Like, he is still connected with people. They just tell you he's a fuck up. There is no evidence that he's a fuck up. He's just a guy that gambles a lot. And he lost some money, but then he won it back. Like, you are taking it true because they tell you that he's a fuck up. There is no evidence that he's a fuck up. What's he doing in the first scene of this movie?
Working.
He's working.
Don't bother me.
Gambling and then working, right?
Well, working.
No, he's working then gambling.
They show him working, parking cars first.
Okay.
He's just not doing it.
For the Cubbies.
Yeah, you know? So, like, and this guy has a ton of friends. Like, he's got, like, four bros, I think he hangs out with, like, 3 bros. Like, by the way, one of whom, the guy who drives him in the end, that guy is a really good friend. I wanted to know more about him.
Yeah.
Like, that is a friend you want.
He's the guy. He's the bag man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact that he was like, cash him out. Like, that was a good friend.
He is a very good friend. Like, he's a very good friend. That is a very interesting character I want to know more about.
Yeah.
He's got great hair.
We don't, you know, we don't get to really know anything more about him or why he has that mustache.
Nah.
But
it goes with the great hair.
You know, mustaches are kind of a big thing out here.
Dude, that guy needed some, like, leopard print pants and shit, like, and just a bass guitar at his side at all times. Like, the way he looked. That dude was awesome. Like, that guy's honestly probably my favorite character in the whole movie. Like, because I did not find any of the other characters compelling or likable. And I did not find the dialogue natural or peppy. I found you've got 2 very seasoned comedic improvers in this movie who are huge favorites of mine. Joe Latrulio and Keegan-Michael Key are both excellent. And they've both been doing improv for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. And every time you're in one, they have dialogue with the main character. They have this like wide-eyed deer in the headlights look, like they're panicking. Like they're like, oh my God, they didn't write me any lines in this scene. I hope I'm not spewing shit. Shit is coming out of my mouth. I hope this comes out good because it feels like shit. Like, that's what I read from those actors in every scene. Like, the dialogue is chaotic and they're constantly jumping all over each other. And
have you ever really listened to, like, people talking, though?
Yes.
Because
it's
when
like
performers
ADD.
do improv, they're delivering a performance. And everything, like, even really good improv sounds like the way that we think people sound like. This movie sounds like people sound like.
No, I don't feel that way at all. I did not feel like the dialogue sounded genuine. I felt
we're going to sit you down and make you listen to raw, uncut episodes of this show, and you are going to hear how fucked up real dialogue is.
I felt like they were trying really, really hard, and
that could be too.
It wasn't there for me. Like, you you bring a lot of things when you sit down to watch a movie, and a lot of what you think of the movie has to do with the baggage that you bring with you. And what I brought when I sat down to watch Win It All is I thought, let's see what this mumblecore thing is all about.
Oh boy!
I thought to myself,
I guess I made a mistake by just like saying the genre of the film.
And as far as this movie being shot wonderfully, if they never, you never saw the boom mic, but like, there's nothing compelling in the filmmaking, and the characters are all pretty flat. Like, okay, why don't you, what's his girlfriend like? What's she like?
Latina.
She's a nurse.
Yeah, she's a nurse, and she has a kid, and she likes to go dancing. And
what's she like though? Like, how would you describe her personality?
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
Colin.
Like, there's nothing there.
I mean,
there's nothing there.
Okay.
There's
What
nothing
do you
there.
like, Colin?
Yeah.
I mean, this is how I felt watching this movie. I'm going, there's nothing
There's
here.
obviously some strong feelings here, folks, but let's remember, we're not friends.
Yep. That's what's important.
I just, I thought that the main character was unlikable. He's a liar, and he shows no growth at all. I don't know. I thought that I did not like this movie at all. And it was not entertaining. I found it very boring.
From behind the curtain comes James to tag out Colin and enter the ring on his behalf.
Yeah!
But before you do, there is a point that I forgot to make that I would like to make, which is there is a part of this movie that bugs me very, very much, which is it takes place in Chicago, or supposed to take place in Chicago, but I don't understand why he's going to these back alley places when there are literally like a whole billion bunches of casinos out here.
Huh.
That's a good point.
We have like pachinko parlors too. Like we love our gambling out here. Probably not as much as Vegas, obviously, but we have a lot of gambling. And even storefronts where you can go in and play online poker. It's completely legal. So there's no reason for him to be where he's at.
Probably because it's easier to shoot in a bar than it is in a casino.
Well, I mean, that's true.
There's that too.
There's your answer.
Or maybe he's been kicked out of all the legitimate establishments.
Yeah.
No, it's a matter of logistics. You can't shoot in a casino.
Nope.
But before I hand it off to James, this movie to me felt like the movie that, in your young 20s, your pretentious, super like hipster friend makes everybody watch at a party because it's indie. Like like
Reservoir Dogs.
Yes, yes, a movie like this is the movie that the cool kid likes, and he makes everybody else watch it. I think that if this movie had I don't know. I think that it's dressed up like an indie movie, so you forgive a lot of the parts of it that are not interesting or shitty. I just don't think this is that good a movie.
Fair enough.
Okay. Before James goes, I just want to say something. We have stated, Colin stated that he never really hit rock bottom, and I will agree that he never hit rock bottom because he's never actually had to really suffer for his actions. But there is such a thing of having the fear of God put in you. Waiting to find out if she's pregnant kind of thing, or waiting to find out if you are capable of making back tens of thousands of dollars before a guy gets out of jail who may murder you.
With some of the stuff he stored in your apartment.
Right. And you can obviously get into your house without your knowledge.
Yeah, I get that. I get that too.
You can hit that point where the light dims so much that you realize the bulb is going out. I'm just saying, like, you can recognize a situation before you end up dead or in jail. I can attest to that.
Don't you think that escaping this situation might empower him in the future to say, well, I've been in worse situations than this. I can get through this. I just got to go win more.
Yes,
absolutely.
But you can also, and I'm not saying this is the case, but you can also consciously have that point where you actively just stop the
self-destructive behavior.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I said, I personally can attest to the ability of a person to do that.
Yeah, and I get that. But I mean...
I don't know necessarily that he would because he didn't seem the type. I'm just saying it's possible. And I'm not saying that he's not going to go back to gambling.
Yeah. No, and I agree, and it definitely will.
What do you think he does with that $10,000?
Of
Probably
course.
gambles.
I mean, yeah exactly. This guy doesn't learn anything. Yeah, this guy doesn't learn anything out of this, and there is no growth here. But, you know, I understand the choice.
If I'm going to see a movie about a guy who is like a piece of crap and learns nothing,
he's not though. That's the thing. He's a loser. That's what he is.
He's not a piece of crap. He's not. Yeah.
I would hesitate to even say that. Like he does not show any of the signs of being as destructive as somebody who, like, if anybody's ever dealt with somebody in their life that actually has a problem with addiction. They get way more self-destructive than this guy ever shows on film.
Yeah, you know, and that was one of the things that I thought about is I'm not really sold on the fact that this guy's an addict.
He's just a loser.
He's just a loser.
He's just a lame loser.
But when I'm watching movies about people self-destructing, if that's what it's going to be about, I need a little bit more comedy. You know, even if it's dark comedy. Like
I just don't know if that was this. What this was
I need
about.
That Wolf of Wall Street kind of comedy, you know.
Right.
I just don't.
Yeah.
Whatever there is here to see, and it sounds like for some people there's something here to see. I did not see it.
Yes, because I did see comedy in this, but I already got there.
Fair enough. All right, James.
So what did you watch this week?
Let me make my review just like this movie and take what's possibly maybe 30 seconds of actual content and turn it into 20 minutes.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, that's
James
what you do every
is
week.
Mumblecore. I was going to say,
every
James.
one of your reviews is basically Mumblecore.
Pretty much. It's all off the cuff, and we all know how awful it is.
We're pioneers.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, I mean...
James, the first Mumblecore podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, Colin, you said pretty much a lot of shit I totally agree with. Probably a little harsher than I would have said, but still, nonetheless, you know, you did kind of actually echo a lot of my thoughts before I ever said them.
He's in your mind.
I'm glad.
I wouldn't be surprised because I feel like I'm on some other shit today. For real, I'm just not really with it. So as we know, tomorrow we go to C2E2, or actually 2 days. Tomorrow we go to Chicago so that in Saturday we can go to C2E2.
Yes, all the listeners know that.
Yep.
Now they do, at least.
And it was going to be awesome.
Know.
And I have been trying to fix up my my costume so that I can rock it out at the place, and like I always do at these cons.
Long live Avocado Man.
Yep, long live Avocado Man. So I want to thank Eric for choosing this movie because I was watching Steven Universe and before I turned this on, and then when I turned it on, I was finally able to pull myself away from the TV and actually get some work done.
Well done.
This is a movie that you wash your dishes to.
Yeah, my dog.
So,
I got up and did something else 5 times during this movie.
all right, so there's one thing that I want to say. All you guys danced around it, and it just annoyed me that none of you actually hit the nail on the head here. Never hit rock bottom. I don't know. At the very at the start of the movie, what we clearly see is a 24-hour streak where he doesn't sleep. He goes from work to the gambling den, stays up all night drinking and gambling, and then goes right back to work with no money. So that's pretty damn close to rock bottom. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's only like 2 or 3 weeks from getting out of his house. Well, anyway, by that point, I was working on my costume, so I really quit giving a shit. So all I knew is that every time I looked up this guy who is honestly not charming, and he's good looking, but like in a kind of like super obnoxious way, in that, like, you know, how he's good looking, but you know he could look better if he just put like a little more effort into it. Like he could look miles better if he put a little more effort.
Oscar dude who is in that movie. Is it just me, or does he look like the guy who plays Poe? Oscar, what's his face? And
Poe Dameron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Oscar Isaac.
Yeah. They
little
look
bit,
so
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it
No.
kills me every time I see him. I'm like it looks like the dude.
maybe I'm going into tree talk here, but I'm pretty sure that this is a universal thing. Pretty sure all of us has had a friend who in high school or middle school grew that horrible fucking mustache and wouldn't shave it off because I look like a baby without it.
Well, they weren't wrong.
Yes.
About it.
Problem with being looking like a baby is a lot better than looking like Guy Fieri.
Babies and Guy Fieri, man, they should not be put in the same room.
John, how dare you double down on that?
Don't make that a thing, dude. Don't make that a thing.
with my signature move, the double down. Prepare to get crusted
All
and
right,
dusted.
cut it. I was just trying to
His name is
just trying to
James.
lighten the mood.
His name is James, but the ladies call him Double Down.
Double your pleasure, double your fun, double your pain. Alright. Yeah, seriously, like the dude did not charm me in any way, and honestly, he was kind of a scumbag from the beginning, and he just acted more and more like an idiot scumbag, and then he fucking got that, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no.
I think it was. I don't know.
I was
That
stupid,
funny.
but I was chuckling.
That's funny.
But yeah, when then like when I realized that he was gambling with the money, because like I was saying, I wasn't really watching. I was like, God damn it, this guy's so fucking stupid. God damn, what am I supposed to care about this guy? I don't give a shit. A lot of the dialogue in this movie is just fucking awful, and you can tell. Like, okay, so you script a thing where a guy meets a girl, and you script it, and normally you can do that pretty easily. There's the full fucking toolbox at this point, and it can work. When you have them do dialogue, it honestly, like the actors having to improv when they're not, they don't have the history and the background and shit, and they're like, okay, you guys are really charmed with each other and you're falling in love, and go. You get shit like, wow, so you just came out tonight? Like, really? Like, it was just like tonight? Like, why tonight?
That seemed really like natural.
It seemed natural.
Oh, dude,
because
he seemed like
scene
creep
before it.
supreme.
Yeah.
In that
The scene
entire
before it where they
bar.
all meet, like where his group meets her group at the bar.
Totally unbelievable. Like, you would just approach a girl at a bar and just, like, start talking to her and actually, like, get her
I
interested
see that.
in you.
I've seen that.
I mean, like,
well,
that's
no,
like,
not the
that's
interested
some
part, but the
magical
free
shit.
drinks.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
you send
wizardized
over
or
drinks and
something
then
to
you
pull
come
that
over and
shit
talk.
off.
That whole scene where like the groups of friends are all just interacting with each other seemed really natural to me.
Like, you just buy a girl
like,
a drink
far more-
and she, like, lets you sit. She doesn't, like, look at you with disgust from across the room
Well,
and try to hide her face and then walk into the bathroom as soon as you try to approach her.
So I had this one really handsome
Not
friend,
always.
and I saw him do what
Yeah.
Jake did in this movie. So that's like, I guess guys can do that.
No, yeah, I know.
It can be done.
I've successfully done that and spent the whole evening with a couple girls at the bar that way. But like, I just felt like Eddie was creep supreme in that bar scene. Like, I thought he came off as a huge creep.
When they're like, oh, you just came tonight. Like, honestly, it only seemed natural in the way of, like, when you're really attracted to, like, a girl and you're talking to her at the end of, like, the party and stuff, and you've got fucking nothing in common, so you've got nothing to say, but you want to keep the conversation going so she doesn't leave. Like, that's what it felt like. Really watching this.
That's a real thing, though.
Yes, it
That's
is.
that.
Yeah, and
That's
that
a
girl
total
does
real
not
thing, but
become
the
your
thing was
girlfriend.
is that I don't think we got what we were supposed to get, which is that these couple actually are having a meet cute.
They did have a meet cute.
But okay.
Well,
Oh,
here or there, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The guy is not
I'm gonna-
a good improvisationalist. A lot of the people in this movie aren't, and you can tell because John Trulio and Keegan Michael Key's bits, while not like the funniest, they did have some good lines. Like, their dialogue and the shit that they came up with was so much better and just seemed more interesting to watch and listen to than the other
That's
guys.
because they are the real performers, and they are
Yeah.
putting forth lines.
Yeah.
They are putting forth lines that sound like a line that you would hear in a movie.
Yeah, which is good because we're watching
Not
a movie.
the kind of I get
So,
that. I
anyway,
get
like, yeah, no, I get it. I mean, Keegan Michael Key has got a shit ton of experience. John Turturro, he put in the work, and he's been like on fucking second, not or the Groundlings or some shit like that for like fucking decades and shit. He has really got some solid chops before he got his big break on Brooklyn Nine-Nine, because obviously because the dude looks like a marmoset fucked like a fucking goblin. So
Good joke.
Yeah. See, I love tripping over my own jokes. That's my go-to thing today. I'm trying something I've done a million.
That was it, huh?
I didn't really care much for the movie, but that being said, okay, not horrendously awful of a movie. Just really didn't hook me. Just very, very dull.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. I think at this point, I think we actually need a break because
we are not usually this like 3 and 2 divided.
Oh no, this is when we're 3 and 2 divided. I'm kind of downtrodden because I actually had another bit, but I don't want to do it because I'm fucking up all my bits.
That's okay, James. You can wrap it up. We're in a good place.
So we're wrapping it up because I can't talk today.
He really seems like one of those people who like to like hang out with, but he does stupid things, so inevitably you're just gonna say no, I won't be your best man.
It's like,
I think he reminded me of too many people I have hung out with.
I can tell by his facial hair that he already makes bad decisions. It's like
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break and work out some of our personal issues. And also learn the important, valuable lesson that we can disagree without actually getting personal with each other right after this.
Tally-ho, John Hates Movies listeners, it's Eric Largent with a quick reminder of how you can find us. The best way to stay appraised of all of our activity is to follow us on Facebook at John Hates Movies. There we'll post all of our new episodes as well as whatever we're feeling interested in at the moment. Please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast service like iTunes, Stitcher, or Podcast and Radio Addict. If you subscribe to us on iTunes, please leave us a comment. We read every single one, and they're much appreciated. You can also follow us on Twitter at John Hates Movies, or follow me on Twitter at Eric Largent. Now, stay tuned for the game and find out what movie we get to watch next week. And if you're feeling adventurous, watch along with us and leave us a comment on Facebook telling us what you thought of the movie. Thank you for listening, and stay tuned for the game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It is now time for your favorite part and mine. It is time for the game.
All right.
Woo! And as is John Hates Movies tradition, the person who picked the movie gets to run the game. And Eric.
Yeah.
That is you.
Is this going to be as boring as the final card game in the movie? Or is this going to be a little more interesting?
All right.
See, I was going to try to turn the leaf here and be like, Eric, who is my friend, is running the game.
Let's see here.
Eric has very eclectic tastes in movies because he has a refined palate.
Sure.
What you got, buddy?
Well, Buddy has probably his worst game that he's ever come up with.
All right.
I like the premise.
Yeah. So usually when I pick a movie and have to run the game, I just kind of wait. I know the premise of the movie and wait until inspiration strikes and kind of try to come up with a game based on that. But inspiration did not strike this week.
Oh.
So we're gonna play a little card game that I just made up off the top of my head.
Yay!
Because I wanted to play I wanted to do something with cards, and we're just gonna do it.
High card.
All right.
All right.
No, it's a betting game, and it's kind of like high card. So here's how it's gonna go, and I'm gonna need to text John and Colin.
Okay.
They're the cards that they get dealt. So this is a betting game. Listeners, this game's gonna suck. So just like get your expectations all the way down to the bottom. Now, boys. All right. So what the game is? It's called. The name of this game is One Card Gamble Man.
I love that name.
And the way you play One Card Gamble Man is I'm going to deal each of you a card, and you are going to have to, based on how good that card is, bet. And you each have 20 tokens.
Yep,
Okay.
And bet as much as you feel like betting on whether your card will beat everyone else's.
All right.
And if there's a tie, it's a push. Yeah. Thanks
Is
for
ace
thanks for
high
sounding
or ace
disappointed,
low?
guys. All right, here we go.
Hey, is ace high or ace low?
Ace high.
Of course.
What's a push?
You split the pot.
So we get pot?
Yes.
It is
420, man. Oh.
Just Blaze. John, I just sent you your card. Colin, I am sending you your card right now.
I'd rather play Texas Mexicans.
Okay, so we're going to start with Chris. Chris, how much would you bet that you could, and you have 20, you don't have to bet all of it, we're going to play multiple rounds, that your card will win?
So we're doing multiple rounds, you said?
Yeah.
I'll bet 10.
Okay.
Whoa.
Confident man.
Big spender.
Next up is John. John, what would you bet that your card's going to win?
So, can we fold?
Yes.
Well, then I fold because 10's fucking ridiculous.
Okay. Colin, you are next.
I also fold.
Okay. James, do you wanna
I
see?
will also bet 10.
Okay.
You're just going to call? All right.
It's a call. All right, showdown, boys.
Next on One Card Gamble.
Oh, one card gamble man, James with the queen. Oh, the first round of One Card Gamble Man is a rousing success.
No one told me this was high stakes one card gamble, man.
All right, John and Colin still have 20 tokens.
No, 10 up. See, I can go back there. Fuck. Oh, I can go back there.
I'm having a heart attack.
No, cash him out!
All of a sudden, the intense music comes in after the big game.
All right, John, you're the next first person up on One Card Gamble Man. How much do you want to bet?
Well, let's see here.
The best part of this game is the name of it.
I'm
One Card Gamble Man.
I'm going to bluff. And I'm going with 4 tokens.
You're not supposed to tell us that you bluff.
I'm not? I thought I was.
You have a terrible poker face, and we can't even see your face.
Colin, you're next up.
I will bet 5.
Oh, James is next up.
I'll bet 5.
James calls. Chris can either call or raise. Chris folds.
Oh.
So now it's to John. John, do you want to call 5?
Or you can raise.
Or you can raise.
You were bluffing. So.
Oh, that's right. I was bluffing. Thanks for reminding me, Chris. I think I'm gonna fold.
Okay. Well,
My
it's
bluff
5
wasn't
to 5. Throw down. I know what Colin has. James, show your card.
Well, my 2 is still in the pot, right?
Yes. 18.
Colin, what do you have?
18.
One
my
card math man.
My card
bet
in this
2?
round with One Card Gamble Man. I have a jack.
Yeah.
What?
Colin. James had a 10. Colin.
Oh yeah!
Get 5 of my gamble coins.
Okay, I can keep going. I can keep going. If I just bet what I want, if I just don't go below my 20 line, that's a hard line.
Colin is
it.
now in the lead with 27 tokens. Winning the game, leading the game of One Card Gamble Man. James at 25, John at 18, Chris at 10. Okay, Colin.
Yes.
How much do you feel like betting or whatever for One Card Gamble Man round?
I'll go with 5 again.
Okay. James, what would you bet?
I'm gonna fold.
James folds. Chris.
I will fold as well.
Oh, they're playing to win.
Let me ask you a
Johnny.
question, though, Eric.
Yes.
You sent me a text that says, "You suck, donkey." What card is that?
It's the Joker, motherfucker.
I'm pretty sure that's not what I sent you.
All right.
You meant to send
Colin?
that to Colin.
I will see your 5, and I will raise you 3.
Okay.
So you gonna call, or do I get your 10?
Or you're
do I
gonna
get your
raise
5?
to meet.
He's got a call to meet, James.
He can call 3. Like, he can call for a total of 8 if he wants.
I fold.
All right. So I get your 5.
Yep. What did you have?
I'm not telling.
He doesn't have to tell.
Oh, that's true. He doesn't have to tell. I know.
No, of course you know.
The listeners want to know.
Donkey dick.
The listeners want to know.
That's not how the game's played.
The listeners want to know, was he bluffing? John's known for bluffing.
Damn it!
If I was bluffing, I would have told you.
Man seriously in this house.
That's right. We're serious one-card Gamble Man players.
I'm very serious about the one-card Gamble Man.
Guys, should we play One Card Gamble Man tomorrow?
I fucking think we should.
Play one-card Gamble Man. This is awesome.
I mean, we don't
wish we
even
could
have the
film it.
initial Annie going right now, so...
What did you have?
I'm not telling you.
No, the inquiring minds want to know.
No, because that's the trick. That's how I'm going to win one-card Gamble Man, by being mysterious man.
I had an 8.
I don't care what you have.
And my name is Johnny Depp, and I also don't know how to play this game.
No, because if you want to see what I'm holding, you need to pay the price, Mr. McMillan.
Somebody check James's temperature again.
And I brought a gun.
James.
I have a gun now.
James, it's up to you. Better fold or what? Or check. You could check.
I'm going to go with 4.
All right.
4 Gamble Man coins.
Chris, how many Gamble Man coins do you want
James,
that?
is 4 also your card?
Can we mint some of those? Some Gamble Man coins?
I will see your 4 and raise you 4.
Okay.
Whoa,
So it's
8 coming out strong.
8 to Johnny.
I call.
Colin, 8 to you.
I fold.
Okay. James,
Do you
4
wanna
more.
Stay in, or... I'm going to hold.
The only way to win One Card Gamble Man is to gamble. All right, it's John and Chris.
Yep.
Chris, what do you have?
6.
Oh, God damn it.
Oh, fuck you.
Johnny, what do you have?
I have a queen,
Whoa!
motherfucker.
Oh, good.
I kind of
lost
assumed
it.
John wasn't bluffing, but I may have been. Oh, wait, I was.
Chris, you were down to 2 Gamble Man tokens.
Hey, man.
John is in the lead
You
with
gotta
31
lose it to
Gamble
win
Mans.
it. Wait.
Wait, what is it? Somebody left a banana on the table, or maybe it's a mustache,
What are you
or
talking
a telephone,
What's
a
happening?
dentist drill.
He's doing fucking improv.
Oh, I see.
It's the first step of being good at something is really sucking
Oh my
at it.
god, James.
I was like, what the fuck is
What's
going on? Is my
going on
brother
over here?
having a stroke?
I know. I was very concerned. I was like, is he...
Now, guys, I'm gonna need a length of time.
What's the score?
Johnny has 37 Gamble Man tokens. Chris has 2. Colin has 22. James has 21. Chris, what do you gamble? 2?
I gamble 2.
Oh, I think we all need to do 2.
I should say this. I'm all in.
we all
do you
have to
call
do
or
2.
fold?
I call.
Oh, then you build a side pot.
Johnny calls.
Oh, I guess we could build a side pot.
Yeah, we could.
But I'm not going to.
Colin, 2 to you.
I see your 2, and I raise you another 18.
Oh, boy.
What?
Holy shit!
Okay, so there's a side pot that
Of
Colin
18.
16 or
18. He
raised it 18, so 20.
So, yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, so James, it's 20 to you.
I fold.
All right, so you guys are all just showing down for 2 each, basically, because nobody called. Or well, okay.
Colin put it up to 20.
Oh yeah,
John,
Chris-
you have to put in
Okay.
18.
Or
Yeah.
raise.
okay. John can either call or raise. Johnny.
I can fold too, though,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
folding.
Okay. Chris, show your Gamble Man card.
I had an 8.
Colin, what did you have?
I had a 4.
Oh!
Well, yeah.
What an it's like a turnaround.
So John is now down to 35. Colin's down to 20. Chris is up to 6.
Colin is down to
I'm down to 2.
What?
Colin's
Oh,
down
don't I
to
lose?
2.
No, that was only a side pot. Nobody called
right.
his side
That's
pot.
right.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
called his side pot.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Triple my money. I forgot that John did put the
Then I
2
have
in,
20.
so.
All right. 3 more hands of Gamble
I
Man
lost the
coming.
score.
One Card Gamble Man is a great way to learn the rules of basic gambling. Which is his own game.
Which is the more you drink, the more you can't do math.
Yeah, pretty much. The more you make your friends laugh.
I need to tell you guys about the time that I won at the blackjack table and actually walked away from it because I was too drunk to do math in my head and thought I had lost. Luckily, one of the dudes from the table chased me down and brought me back to the table so I could collect my winnings.
Oh, jeez. Okay, John, you're the first up to bet on One Card Gamble Man.
You know what? I'm going with 10.
All right, 10 to Colin.
I see your 10 and raise you another 10.
Colin is all in.
I'm all in.
Okay.
James, it's 20 to you. You have 21 Gamble Man tokens.
I'm gonna go 20.
All right, James calls for 20. Chris.
I will put my 6 in.
Okay. Oh, now it's fucking math.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
And I'm going to call.
Whoa. Okay.
This is it. This is the gamble, man. The gamble.
Oh, my God.
The gamble, man, gamble.
Okay.
This is gamble again.
Okay, so Chris is playing for 6 from everybody
Yep.
if he wins.
Which technically he can't. But
And then
we're
everybody
cool with
else has
Hey.
20. All right. So you're all in, right? Everybody is in? All right, so let's start with John. John, tell us what you have.
I have a 9.
Colin, what do you have? I think Colin just won the game.
I have a king.
Oh!
James, what do you have?
Go with Chris first.
Oh, you don't have an ace, do you?
I have an
Chris
ace.
has an
Oh no, I have a king! Chris has an ace!
I still have one Gamble Man coin.
I have 15 Gamble Man coins.
I have
get
14.
18.
Yeah, Chris gains 18
Oh
from
my God.
So I'm at
six.
24.
He's at 24. Oh, God, now we have to do math.
Just subtract.
I think the rest
subtract-
of us were at 20.
I have 14.
Well, no, 20. So 14,
Yeah,
15, and 29.
yeah. All right, let's just do it like that. Let's just say your side pot goes back into your hand
Yes.
because Chris won.
Yes, that is how
let's
it
just
goes.
let's just put it like that.
That is how it goes.
Oh, so I'm back to 35?
39. 29.
39.
You're at 29.
29.
Colin,
I'm at 29.
Colin's at 14, and James is at 15.
Yep.
Oh
and
boy,
Chris is at what?
18 or 24.
two
I'm
more.
still in the lead.
Two more hands of Gamble Man. There were 2 kings and an ace out there, and John fucking floating around with a 9.
I did
Hell
not
yeah.
expect you to
This,
have that
this
fucking
turned out
ace.
to be a pretty exciting game, Eric.
God damn it.
Oh, you guys are all feeling the rush that Jakey Boy was feeling.
That's right. Give it to me, baby. I'm getting reckless.
Fucking. All right. Oh, second to last hand of One Card Gamble Man.
That's right.
I'm just like, the more I say One Card Gamble Man, the better the game gets. All right,
Yeah.
so Colin, what it's to you? What do you say?
I fold.
Colin folds. Colin folds his 14. James, what do you say?
I fold.
James folds. You guys are losing. The only way you can win is to make money. Okay, Chris, what do you say?
Do 5.
John, it's 5 to you.
I fold.
Okay, so this is the last hand of One Card Gamble Man.
That's right. If everybody else does it again, I'll win, so I'm good.
Okay.
Force a 5 ante or something.
Chris, you had a queen? Wait.
I had a queen.
Okay,
Thank
sorry.
you
I
for
just
giving
aired you
that
out.
away.
I just
Good
aired
job,
Chris
Eric.
out. Sorry.
It's a good thing I didn't go in on that.
I saw
Jesus.
somebody had a queen, and I guessed it was Chris because he actually bet. And then I did the thing a fucking dealer should never do: tell everybody else what one of the person's hands was.
You'd be so fired.
Yeah.
Hey, I totally gave you the queen. Why didn't you play that shit?
All right,
Oh, man.
last hand of One Card Gamble Man. John.
That's right.
John and Colin, you are getting your things now, and remember, bluffing can work if nobody else calls.
And everyone can fold, and I can win.
Now I really am shuffling and dealing, so these are all legit. And the last round starts with James.
All in.
15 from James. 15 to Chris.
I'll see his 15. Wait.
You have
Yes,
24.
I'll see his 15. Wow. I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure out what we need to make sure that John loses if he sits it out.
John, what do you say?
Well, did Chris go in for 15?
Yes.
I went in for 15.
And I can't buy the pot.
Nope.
No, probably not. Well, maybe. I mean, if I don't know what your card was. If it's a real doozy, though, you might get the other guys to fold.
Well, of course it's a real doozy.
Yeah.
But I can't just outright buy the pot.
What do you say, Johnny?
I'm trying to do Jeopardy math here. I'm trying to figure out exactly how much I need to bet so that I can still retain my win.
I see.
Yep. But actually, that doesn't make sense because somebody's getting that 15
Correct.
Yes.
Gamble Man coins.
Yes.
So I might as well go in for 15.
All right. Colin, your last one is to you.
Well, I'm all in.
For 14.
14.
Okay.
For 14.
So everybody's
Whatever that means.
in. Just like it's basically just show your cards. Who got the higher card? So let's start with James. You have to show first.
3.
Chris, you have to show next.
I have a 2.
Oh my god! Are you fucking kidding me? When I texted John and Colin their cards, I was like, no fucking way they're gonna win. Because they're fucking low numbers.
Are you fucking
But
serious?
they got you guys beat. Johnny, what do you got?
I have a 6.
And Colin, what do you have?
A 5.
We have a 2, 3, and a 5 and a
John
6.
swept.
And
He
that
swept
means
the table.
Johnny is the best gamble man at the table.
Yes!
Crushed it.
I crushed it!
73.
I am the champion of one-card Gamble Man.
Johnny is the best gamble man. The only person left with gamble man tokens is Chris. He has 7
I
in
just want
second
to point
place.
out that John is the only person in the history of time to win it. One card gambling man.
He is the first one-card Gamble Man national champion.
That is true.
And he won one card gamble man with a 6.
Yep.
Yes.
That's an expert.
That's bold.
That's a master class in gamble man.
Yes.
I was
Yes, it
just
is.
hoping James had something good because I knew I was going to lose it. That's the only reason I
It
went
was
in at all.
the last round. There was no point to have your tokens at the end of it.
Oh, man.
So Johnny, you won one card gamble man.
Yes, I did. So,
What are we gonna watch next week?
this is an odd choice, so I'm just going to preface it that I used to watch the shit out of this movie when I was a kid, constantly. And the movie is The Man with One Red Shoe.
Oh.
I have
I've
not
never
seen
even
this.
heard of that.
I've never
It's
heard
a
of it
Tom
either.
Hanks. It's a Tom Hanks comedy, spy comedy, and I have not seen this in years, but it's on Netflix, and I'm forcing you all to watch a movie that I literally broke the tape on.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
Well, I feel like I need to come back with some really cringeworthy things to say about this movie now.
I agree. Bring it.
Okay.
I promise I won't call you names, but I may use all my winnings to pay for someone to break your kneecaps. You know those Gamble Man coins? They go
those highly
for-
sought after.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be a new cryptocurrency on the internet.
Gamble man token.
Gamble Man
Gamble Man
coins.
token.
Gamble man coin. It's the next Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Oh, we should start our own Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
Gamble man token.
Oh, and you know what the best thing about Gamble Man coins is that sometimes they just randomly disappear and come back to us.
And they can completely be, it's like a 1-to-1 exchange rate with frog dollars.
Oh, yeah, frog dollars. I forgot about frog dollars.
Good night, everybody. A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say...
What? Are you
Oh,
serious?
no.
Did I ever tell you about how
Oh,
my
no.
Bitcoins got stolen?
Yeah, that was way back when.
Yeah, it was a few years ago, but yeah.
You
So
were mining the Bitcoins and then the market crashed.
No, the exchange that I had them listed on the guy that ran the exchange just took all the coins and all the money that was in the exchange and fucked off.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious. Look up
my God.
MTGOX. It's a thing.